nonstop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
I'm going to give you two.
Go ahead.
Life on the line.
Go ahead.
You think he's better than Cousins?
Hell yes.
All right.
Hell yeah. Hold on. I might disqualify you from this show right now. You just bring up Kirk Cousins?
Has Cousins won a playoff game on the road?
Oh, my God.
The answer is
Kirk
yes.
Cousins?
Has he won a playoff game on the road?
Absolutely not.
Did Dak Prescott win a playoff game on the road?
No.
Come
Cousins
on, man. Beat Breeze and New
Come on,
Orleans.
man. It's football and team sport.
I'm not in love with Cousins either, but you're making Prescott out to be a little better than him.
Now you're just trying to force it. You have him at number 9.
Derek Carr?
No.
Oh, come on now. You can't just automatically say, no, that's a debate.
Yes, I can.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. That, I don't even know, like, if you need to continue First Take anymore. Like, Stephen A. versus, I love the glaring Judd there, too.
What is going on with this?
You've got sun coming through your blinds,
It's the sunlight
dude.
coming through your blinds.
Gone it looked fine before.
Well,
Come
close your
on.
blinds.
They are closed. Hold on a second here.
This is incredible. I love
You
it.
talk. I'm going to work on this.
Okay.
Come on, this isn't happening.
That was one of the godfathers of New York sports talk there, Christopher Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith, just spastically shouting at each other about Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins. It's pretty much what we do every day on this show, according to some of the people that consume Purple Daily, which is presented by Surly Brewing Company and TCL TVs. Enjoy TCL, which is one of the best TVs for watching football. They got a new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with no glare and stunning resolution, all at an affordable cost.
You honestly look great. Like,
Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. This
Lighting
is
looks
perfect.
really good.
What happened?
The sun, because it's wintertime, it's moving around and stuff, different time of day. And so I like had it.
That's pretty much the
Is that
same.
why? Yeah, I think it's
It
the
might
same.
move by
The
like a
sun.
minute or two.
Yeah,
but,
it's
you know.
moving a little bit. And here's the problem. So we just full disclosure, we start recording ordinarily at 10 Central, and we're starting at just after 9.
Yeah, I got
so the sun's
catch
in a
flight.
different place. The sun's in a different place.
Oh, poor you.
And
So you're pretty much the Kirk Cousins of
we can't
Purple Daily
start-
host. Like if something gets thrown off a little
we
bit,
can't
it's
start
just,
at 9 ever again. We can't. No, we're never starting at 9 again. It's
No problem
obvious.
with me. I'm cool with that.
My
well,
contract says
technically
10.
it's 9:15. So I mean, I don't know.
Well,
maybe we need to.
If the sun, anyway, it's fixed.
Okay. Well, welcome to Purple Daily. Glad we.
Thanks.
Glad we avoided glare crisis there. I'm Phil Mackey. That's Judd Zulgad, and we got our executive producer Declan back after an exorcism like 24-hour flu.
Oh, God.
We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. That's what we say every day on this show. And you guys sometimes the audience criticizes us because we tend to lean on Kirk Cousins as our main talker here. That you guys, when are you guys going to talk about something other than Kirk Cousins? Well, we hear you loud and clear because today it's all about meat and potatoes. Boys and girls.
Love meat and potatoes.
The Vikings
Starches.
The Vikings need some offensive line help. They have for years. And they try. Like they draft, first round center here, Bradbury, Bost, second round guys. But today is all about free agent center and guard options that the Vikings can tap into if they clear some cap space in 30 days from now. Are you guys ready for a meat and potatoes episode of Purple Daily?
Yeah, let's get down to it. Let's get down to a position that must be improved so Kirk Cousins can be the best quarterback he can possibly be.
Or whoever. Maybe they wind up. There's a great article on ESPN.com today about the quarterback market. Whoever the quarterback is, whether it's Cousins or a rookie or somebody else, Garrett Bradbury probably no longer qualified to be the starting center. Oli Udoh probably don't need 12 holding calls, in a season.
Yeah.
Probably good on that. So Pro Football Focus has put together just a wonderful ranking of the top 100 free agents. I think they actually go to like 150 or 200 here on the page I'm looking at. They have 11 guards or centers among their top 100 free agents. That's right. 11% of the top 100 free agents fall right into the Vikings' wheelhouse of need on the offensive line. I think last year, if I remember right, looking at that same list, I think there was like 3 guards or something in the top 100, maybe 4, and a lot of them were sort of toward the back end. Mm-hmm. But there are options And I just want to. We don't have to spend a half hour on each of these guys, but I just want, and I'm going to mix in some reckless speculation because I did get a direct message that I would like to read to you guys about one of these guards.
Okay.
But the number one guard on the market, and he's the 12th overall free agent. I'm sorry, the number one center. This is a centers and guards list I'm looking at here. Is Ryan Jensen, 31 years old, Tampa Bay Buccaneers the last few years, and he has ranked 14th, 18th, and 2nd among centers in the NFL the last few years. So just a rock-solid, steady starting center. I worry a little bit, like some of the guys on this list are going to be past the age of 30. I feel like the Vikings are going to be thinking about more of a 3 to 5 year window. So I would pay closer attention to the guys that are like 26, 27 years old on this list than the guys who are 30.
Okay.
But Ryan Jensen is the number one starting center on the market. He's projected to sign a 3-year, $10 million per year average contract.
I actually like this one, and here's why too. This line, the tackles I think are good. I think, we know for a fact that the right tackle is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the left tackle, Darisaw being a first-round pick, is going to be good. I know Ezra Cleveland at left guard wasn't perfect, but I do think that he definitely is solidified there and will continue to improve. And here's what I like about a guy like Ryan Jensen, veteran guy. Your point about his age is well taken. But I wouldn't mind them signing a glue guy, veteran guy, because that's a young line. Like
It's one of the youngest lines in the NFL.
Yeah. And if you could sign a glue guy who is an offensive lineman's just a go-getter, just a meat and potatoes guy to sort of be not just a productive player, but also your Pat Bev of the line. Just a kick-ass. I feel like this line across the board, among its deficiencies, and there are quite a few, one thing that has struck me in the last few years is they're not that mean. Like, you're not scared of them. Like, you should be scared of the linemen. Like Hutch. Steve Hutchinson was an SOB on the field, and you were scared of him. Like, it's like, oh my God, there's Steve. So
there's no pedigree. There's no nastiness.
There's no kick. There's no I'm going to kick your ass to next Sunday, and I want that. So that's the one thing about a veteran guy, especially playing that position, literally anchoring the offensive line, that intrigues me.
Yeah, I think especially with a quarterback, if you move forward with Kirk, that just he's not the field general that some of the other guys around the league are. Like, he's not the field general that a Brady is, or a Rodgers, or a Russell Wilson. You need a center that's not in over his head. I think center is important for all teams in the NFL, all quarterbacks. I think it's even more important with Cousins.
Take charge, right?
Yeah.
Just take charge. I'm going to kick your ass center.
I love that. We need some sort of analytic for the kick your ass quotient.
I bring a lot to the table here that go well beyond the statistical analysis.
The number one guard on the market, according to Pro Football Focus, is Brandon Scherff. He's the 18th ranked overall free agent. And among all starting guards, and there have been around 80 of them qualified the last 3 years, he has ranked 13th, 4th, and 9th. So pretty solidly a top 10 guard in the NFL. And I'm just going to, it's a reckless speculation Thursday here on Mackie and Judd. We can carry it over to Purple Daily. I received a direct message from, let's call this person Rocky in Iowa, a couple days ago. And I'm just going to preface this by saying I would not be doing my duty as the CEO of Vikings Twitter and as one of the three heads here on this daily Vikings entertainment talk show if I didn't read you this direct message and just throw it out there. We're all, listen, this is our little club of people that want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl. All right, this is just a little reckless speculation among friends and family, okay?
Yep.
Take it with a grain of salt or run with it. I don't care. I'm just don't kill the messenger.
Okay.
Rocky in Iowa says, here's a little inside information for you regarding Brandon Scherff. I was born and raised in Iowa, and as you know, Brandon graduated from the University of Iowa. Well, at the University of Iowa, he married a woman from Rock Valley. Iowa. During the offseason, he lives in the Rock Valley area. This is 7 miles from where I grew up. He works out at the gym in Sioux Center, Iowa, and has told people he prefers to sign with either the Vikings or the Chiefs this offseason because it's closer to home for him. These are his top two choices, the Vikings and the Chiefs. This is not speculation. This is the honest-to-God truth. Please do not use my real name on the air, but you can definitely say that you received the message from someone who has inside information regarding Brandon Scherff.
Reckless speculation.
Take that, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport.
You could take that to the bank.
The blood bank.
The guard bank.
There's going to be a tweet from one of those two today. Just randomly pops up about Brandon Scherff prefers two destinations, Kansas City or Minnesota.
Now, I guess the question on Scherff, who, but by the way, if I was the Vikings, would intrigue me a lot. And I think the Chiefs did their O-line redo last spring. So I think that they're in decent shape now. Would you pay the price on Scherff?
So he was franchised by Washington last year, right?
He'll be expensive. Yeah, he'll be expensive.
So here's the projected contract. Here's some info on Brandon Scherff. So he's 30 years old, which again, guards age a little bit more. I don't know if gracefully is the right word because they all have double chins and neck beards and things. But like, you can get away with a guard.
They
in
don't
his
lose their
early 30s.
speed, Phil.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guard's lost all his speed. He can't pull anymore.
Right. So yeah, it's not like they're a cornerback trying to cover 40 yards, at a time. They're just kind of in their own bubble. And then, but like zone blocking schemes, you do have to get out. You can't, you can't just be a total sloth. But 30 years old, he's projected to sign a 3-year, $16 million average annual value contract with $30 million guaranteed. He would be, unless I'm missing something on this list, he is projected to have the biggest contract of any free agent center or guard. So, there's things you can do. If you sign into a 3-year contract, you could backload some of that right into the second, third years. But just to give you an idea of where the Vikings stand cap wise, they're like 12 or 13 million over the cap right now. They'd have to clear out $20 million from where they are now just to sign their draft picks, and then clear another $20+ million if they want a guy like Brandon Scherff and some other free agents. So, I mean, they'd have to do some major restructuring. Maybe they'd have to even say goodbye to Cousins or Danielle Hunter or something. So, I think it's a long shot that they would have enough money compared to the 5 or 6 other teams that probably also would love for Brandon Scherff to sign with them. But it's very interesting that he's available. He's an Iowa kid. The Vikings have a huge need at guard, and he's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. That one, if he approached me and said, I want to play for your team, I would work long and hard to make that work. I think that would, again, also alter the feeling about the entire line.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, guards now are extremely important. I know that they're nondescript, sometimes fat guys. But gone are the days where it's like, and this was part of what? Rick's problem, right? We'll find guards. We'll find some guards. It's like, no, you actually won't find guards.
Well, and like, you should be able to. You should be able to draft a guard in the 4th round, but it's like the Vikings have whiffed on everyone.
Yeah. But I mean, they're extremely important, and a guy like Scherff would alter the feeling about the interior position of that line, I think, on the day he signed.
I feel like, I guess I'll back up. I wonder if the Vikings using 16 starting guards over the past 6 years, if that's more of a talent identification problem, like a Rick Spielman problem, or if it was an issue with just developing, from Mike Zimmer all the way down through the offensive coaching staffs,
right,
the revolving door of offensive coordinators, Tony Sparano tragically passing away. They haven't had a whole lot of stability when it comes to developing day in and day out, off-season, training camp, practices, offensive linemen.
Yep.
And you can't blame Spielman for not exhausting resources in the draft anymore, right? That was a thing for a while, but first-round center, first-round left tackle, second-round left guard, Ezra Cleveland, second-round right tackle. So they've used draft picks. I'm not going to go through all of these, but like just to fly through some. So Laken Tomlinson is the 3rd-rated guard or center on this PFF list, 26th overall free agent. He's 30 years old. And again, among 80 qualified guards the last 3 years, he's ranked 13th, 8th, and 22nd. He's been a rock-solid guard for the San Francisco 49ers. Zone-heavy run scheme, so it's going to be kind of a similar run-blocking scheme, most likely, to what KOC is going to want to run. Connor Williams is 25 years old, and he was the 11th rated guard in the league last year for Dallas. He's expected to sign a much less lucrative contract, something in maybe the $7 million a year range. Zone-heavy scheme in Dallas. James Daniels from the Bears, 24 years old, guard. Austin Corbett, 26 years old, guard, Rams. Projected to sign a $9 million a year contract.
That's intriguing.
That's one to watch.
Yes. That's intriguing. And at 26, my guess is he's coming out of his, if I'm not mistaken, his first contract. And I will say, I think that that is perceived by a lot of GMs as the sweet spot. Because you're going to get paid, but you're either in your prime, or in Corbett's case, you might be considered to be entering your prime. And so that first contract, when that's done, becomes a very intriguing time to try and sign guys, because you're banking on the fact that you're going to get 4 to 5 more really good years, not like 2 more good years, and then he's 32 or something like that, and you're concerned about it.
The last 2 years, he has ranked 27th out of 82 guards and 11th out of 80 guards. So just, it's less about finding, at that position, it's less about finding the best. I mean, it'd be great if you could have another Steve Hutchinson. You just want to avoid train wrecks. It's as Eric Eager, our friend from Pro Football Focus, will tell us, it's a weak link unit. If you've got an Oli Udoh and he's committing penalties and he's a swinging gate, it makes the rest of the defensive or the offensive linemen worse too. And the write-up on Austin Corbett is he turned his career around in Sean McVay's wide zone offense. He's graded above the 50th percentile among all guards in zone and gap rushing schemes. That's right, zone and gap rushing schemes.
It's all important.
Since the start of last season. And he's graded in the top half of all qualifying guards in pass blocking grade on true pass sets, which is what the Vikings are terrible at on the interior. So that's probably for money reasons, for connection to Kevin O'Connell. Austin Corbett is probably the one to circle on here. 26 years old. He would fit in with a 3 to 5 year window. So Brandon Scherff would be amazing, but Austin Corbett might make more sense for a few other reasons.
And if Kirk is staying, I don't see how you don't subtract elsewhere from players who are eating up the cap, not to improve interior line. Because one is, we know that the pressure that really bugs and derails Kirk, and if Kirk gets derailed, you're in trouble, is interior, right? It's up the gap. It's not the outside stuff. That's a problem, but the biggest problem is when Kirk gets the ball is snapped, and there is a big fat guy in his face because the center or guard didn't block big fat guy, okay? So that is why I think the right guard position especially, but that other guard position across from Cleveland or center needs to be addressed. Now, here's the real question, though. If you're Kwesi, and I'm sure that you're going to work hard to clear cap space, but there's a chance here that you're not going to clear a ton. You can clear some. Do you address, if I can address one of two, center or guard, with a free agent signing that's going to cost me, but I can't address both?
Center.
Okay.
100%.
Yep.
I think there's fewer people on the planet that can lead and play center at a high level. Again, I say this knowing the Vikings history. You can find guards. You should be able to find guards.
You did it.
You should be able
to
find
Rick.
guards.
Rick, it's great to have you on the show.
But I guess I'll flip the question around. If you had to gamble that you can just find a guy, would you rather gamble that you can find a guy at guard or center? I don't want to gamble. Like, Garrett Bradbury is terrible, but there's not a bunch of guys out there that can play center. So I would rather solidify center, which helps solidify quarterback and help solidify the rest of the offensive line, and try to find a guard somewhere.
Okay. I will play Stephen A here, and I will debate you. And say this.
Is Bradbury better than Cousins? Is Bradbury better than Cousins? I love the random like inflections in their voices. There's no rhyme or reason.
Here's the greatest thing. The doggy's old. He's like in his 60s now.
The dog is like 65.
The dog
man.
is old, and Russo still has but he still has the fastball. It's unbelievable. He still has the fastball.
Not only does he still the fastball, he's been elevated to the freaking like primetime show on weekdays for them,
he's
right?
So good at it. That's my point, though. He's the man. He's teaching a master class.
Everybody. This is like Phil Mickelson winning a major in his 50s. I mean, it's like he just keeps getting better.
And the fact that he just yells and it works is my favorite thing. Anyway, so to get back to the debate, in theory, I agree with what you're saying. Perfect world, but I think what I would do for right now is I think what if I would take the player, and it's probably going to be a guard. I would take the deeper positional depth and pursue that spot.
So you're good with Bradbury. You're good with Bradbury.
I'm not good with Bradbury, huh? No, I'm not good with Bradbury.
You're giving Bradbury an extension.
I'm not giving Bradbury an extension, but I am good with finding the guy that's going to be the best at solidifying the interior portion of that line for now. Okay. So like if I can find the center, that's great. But if Brandon Scherff comes to me and is like, hey, Kwesi, yeah, Brandon, I want to do a deal. My family lives in Iowa. I want to be close to home. I'll give you a little bit of a discount. I think he is clearly probably the top guy on the list that you just went through, Phil. And so I would do Scherff based on, if I could, based on the fact that he would bring me so much solidification there that I think he would help the center. I'm not saying it's perfect.
All right, and I will say, like, to your point, there are more guards. There are more like plug and play fixes at guard than there are at center, which is natural because there's there's just more guards in the NFL. But let me throw another name at you on the center side. All right, this is the last name I'll throw at you here.
Yep.
Brian Allen was the starting center for the Rams last year. He is a free agent. So he's 26 years old. He was like a 4th round pick. I closed the page out here, but 4th round pick out of Michigan State a few years ago. And he ranked, according to Pro Football Focus, as the 9th best center in the NFL. Better as a run blocker than a pass blocker, but better overall by far than Garrett Bradbury was. And obviously has a daily working relationship with Kevin O'Connell.
Yes.
He is considered a starting center in a zone-heavy scheme specifically, which is likely what the Vikings are going to operate with. Allen has been one of the better zone run-blocking centers in the NFL in his 2 years as the Rams starting center, helping mask a below-average pass-blocking profile. So he's not a great pass blocker, but he's better than Bradbury at that. He best fits into an offense that utilizes play action frequently and moves the pocket to reduce the number of true pass sets. So, which again, I mean, that's something that can be done, but he would be better than Garrett Bradbury. There's no projected contract here listed for him, but he's going to be cheaper than Brandon Scherff. So all right, that's kind of some of it depends on if the Scherff stuff is true and he's an Iowa kid and it makes sense. All right, how much cap space can you clear without completely gutting the rest of your team, right? And he's 30. Like if you're going to sign a 30-year-old to that kind of contract, you're looking to win right now or next year. Mm-hmm. So we don't yet know what Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Dofa-Mensah want to do for a timeline. Are they going to try and run it back? I don't think so, but we still have basically 4 weeks for them to tinker with the roster and give us some clues as to what they're thinking.
And who would be the major cap hits if you could get a guy like Scherff that you would sacrifice, assuming you can't do Kirk?
Oh man,
Kendricks.
You're saying I can't. You're saying Kirk has to make $45 million?
I am saying Kirk is going to stay, and
is Kirk better than Dak?
Let's say you bring Prescott. Is that what he chirped? I couldn't even make out Prescott. Okay, let's say you can bring Kirk down a little bit, extend him. Not my choice, but you still have to clear out at least one, if not two, but at least one major cap hit to create room for another cap hit. in Scherff?
I probably look to. Oh my God.
I mean,
I look to move Daniil Hunter for a first-round pick and draft. It's an edge rusher heavy draft, and then I'm probably in the edge rusher market in the first or second round. But you're going to have to clear a chunk. Like there is no. I know that the cap is fake and all. Like the Vikings, the cap was fake for a few years, and now it's like it's not fake.
That's
anymore.
real. Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, the cap comes due.
And a lot of the players we're talking about are in their 30s too. Like, I'd love to find a way to make it work with Daniil Hunter, but he's such a big chunk of money, and he's never on the field. So again, I have a hard time justifying why would you bring on Brandon Scherff and then say goodbye to Thielen. Like I feel like if you bring on Scherff, you're gonna it's like a final piece to your offense type of a move.
Right.
Harrison Smith, you got Cam Bynum sitting there. Maybe you trade Harrison Smith for a second-round pick to somebody.
I think it comes from. If they do that, I think it's from you're subtracting from the defense, not the offense. That's my guess.
I think you're probably right. So there you have it. Those are some names to watch. If you guys wanted meat and potatoes,
I hope you're all happy.
Potatoes.
I hope you're all happy because today we put our hand in the ground and we did some digging.
Put your hand in the ground. Come on. You know, speaking of meat and potatoes, you can eat meat and potatoes in moderation and still lose weight. It's crazy.
Who knew? Who knew? Except for me now, because the fine folks at Livia Weight Control Centers have helped me turn my life and my weight around. I was approximately 240 pounds a few months back. I was feeling heavy. I looked, well, let's just say, there it is. Thank you, Declan Goff. The guy on the left, let's just call a spade, pretty fat, not so good. The guy on the right, handsome, young man, looking like he.
What a moose on the left.
30 plus.
That's a tackle to a guard right there.
That's exactly. No, that's a guard to like
a free safety.
A wide. Yeah, exactly right. A man that runs free now. And how do I do it? 30 plus pounds. I want you to join me now on the 8-week challenge where you get your first 8 weeks for free. That's right. First 8 weeks for free. I lost 26 plus pounds in that time, and you can do the exact same. How? 855 go LIVEA, Livia.com, LIVEA.com. Check them out. They will help you because it's a simple program. It's great. It's fantastic. They will help you do what they helped me do, which is shed the pounds and all those clothes fit again. It's great.
Hey, this weekend, the St. Thomas men's hockey team finishes out their last home series against Lake Superior State as they battle through the rugged CCHA. If you're looking to watch some D1 hockey, go check out St. Thomas this weekend. Go TommySports.com, I should say, for ticket information. TommySports.com. They play their last home games on Friday and Saturday night this weekend. And you and I are going to be in Declan too at the golf show at the Minneapolis Convention Center. And we're going to do just a couple bonus episodes of Mackie and Judd Purple Daily around 1 or 1:30 on the stage at the Minneapolis Convention Center, the golf show. I think it's I don't want to say what hall it is, but there's signs all over the place, so you'll find it once you get there. So check out 1 or 1:30, and we'll see you guys if you want to come and insult us in person on Friday or Saturday. Be great. So, all right, boys, we didn't have time to get to this yesterday because we were so jam-packed, but
I want a mock!
Todd Father Mock has come out with, I think it's a 2.0.
Yep.
But it's not labeled as a 2.0. It's just his next mock. I wonder if his contract negotiations had something, if he had a hang-up, like, I don't like labeling it 2.0, 3.0. That's for the amateurs.
I like the 2.4, like 2 point, like the little decimal point after, like just a tweak, but it's not so much a third or a fourth.
Yeah.
There's just like a half little tweak here and there.
Yeah, it's like 2.7. So this is the post-Super Bowl predictions for all 32 first-round picks, including quarterback landing spots from Todd McShay, ESPN.com.
I'll fire it back up.
All right.
There we go.
He's got Evan Neal, the offensive tackle from Alabama, going to the Jaguars. I feel like that's becoming a common theme here. The Jaguars are, now that they have Doug Peterson, how do they fortify Trevor Lawrence?
Got to protect
clean up that disaster last year. All right, number 2, to the Detroit Lions, hometown guy, Aiden Hutchinson, edge rusher, Michigan. Got a safety from Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton, going 3rd to the Texans.
Wow.
Really?
How many safeties have gone top 5 in the last.
Did Jamal
10
Adams?
years.
How high was Jamal Adams picked?
I would have to look.
Did Honey Badger go in the first round? I don't know.
No, he fell, I thought, because of
Sixth
yeah.
overall for Jamal Adams. Sixth
off-field
overall.
questions.
But still.
Kayvon Thibodeau, edge rusher, Oregon, in a free fall to 5. He was sort of consensus number 1 overall guy 6 months ago, but now he's free falling. Let's see. Panthers, no quarterbacks. While Drake London, wide receiver USC to the Falcons, still no quarterbacks. I'm to 10 here, still no quarterbacks. All right. Kenny Pickett is the first quarterback off the board to the Washington Commanders at 11. He's the QB from Pitt.
Yeah. Good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm not fan. I'm not hearing great stuff.
About Kenny Pickett or about the Washington Commanders?
About both, actually. I can safely say that.
He says in the write-up here, he says, I personally have Liberty's Malik Willis ahead of Pickett, but the Pitt signal caller is more NFL ready, and it's more likely he's the first quarterback off the board in April. That doesn't make sense to me. If Malik Willis is the better prospect,
then
why
you don't. Exactly.
It's a weird logic, but okay.
And then the Vikings at 12. They've got their pick of any quarterback not named Kenny Pickett in any other position here. And according to Todd Father Mock, the Vikings select out of Washington University cornerback Trent McDuffie.
I want a mock.
Yeah. A corner. I could very much see that.
Here's the write-up. Yeah, the Vikings have used 4 first-round picks on defensive backs since 2013, and one more here would tie them with the Packers for the most over that 10-draft span because it's still an issue for them. Minnesota allowed 5.7 yards per play in 2021, which was 26th in the NFL, and its top 2 cornerbacks, Patrick Peterson and Mackenzie Alexander, aren't under contract for next year. That's another thing to consider when we talk about the Vikings being over the cap. They're 12 or 13 million over the cap. And that doesn't include like Patrick Peterson, Mackenzie Alexander.
Yeah, who I don't think is coming back.
Xavier Woods, right? He's not under contract.
No,
either.
he's not. He's a free agent as well. Yeah, no, they got some problems. Or they don't have problems because they are willing to accept their fate in 22, which would be a totally different conversation.
Yeah. McDuffie is smooth and displays good route recognition. I'll give McShay a little football for that. As an aside, this is the fun part about this write-up. This is another spot where quarterback wouldn't be shocking. Kirk Cousins has 1 more year left on his deal, so perhaps new general manager Kwesi Dofa-Mensah and new coach Kevin O'Connell opt to take a step toward the future, especially with Liberty's Malik Willis still available in this scenario. So there you have it.
I smell a rope-a-dope from Todd here. And he's
laying groundwork for a quarterback here.
But you know what he's doing? And it's brilliant. It's actually very smart. Why would you shoot your shot with Malik Willis being a top 10 pick pre-combine? Because combine, he's going to knock it out of the park, right?
Yeah, he'll be the best combine quarterback. Yeah.
So why would you put him, and I've seen that there are some mocks doing this, why would you put Malik Willis at 6 to Carolina right now? It actually is a veteran savvy move to be like, hell no, not yet. But yet in the commies write-up, he's acknowledging I like this guy more. Yeah, call him the commies. So in the write-up, he's basically saying I like this QB the most. And then when he pops at the combine,
I told you so.
And there will be a big Malik Willis moves way up in Todd Father. So I think it's a rope-a-dope, and it's brilliant.
Dude, I would be shocked if Malik Willis was not a top 10 pick when it's all said and done. Not because of, he's not NFL ready right now, but look around the league at these athletes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, right? Like, you're going to pass on that. So the Vikings do in this scenario, and they take a cornerback, Trent McDuffie. And by the way, free agency is going to happen first, and so if the Vikings, we have to see what they address in free agency, and then that will lay groundwork. Obviously, if they trade Kirk Cousins, and now they're looking for a bridge quarterback, they're much more likely then to draft Malik Willis. So if they extend Kirk Cousins, all right, let's say they sign him to a 3-year contract, and they move some money out into future years, or they don't. Maybe they extend him with the eye on 2023 or something. then what's the percentage chance they draft a quarterback in the first round? I think it's 0, right? If you commit to Kirk Cousins over like a 3-year extension, you're out of the quarterback draft business for this year.
Yep. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. And I think ultimately that either a team in the top 8 or a team that trades up to the top 8 will take Malik.
Yep.
I don't think he's around till 10 to be. I just, your points, Phil, are dead on.
I know,
and
right?
in this, like, they are great points, unbelievable points. And
What's going on?
right now, no, my point is, with what teams now look for and development wise, I don't see a team or all teams basically saying, yeah, he might be good, but like, there's so much tied up in, if you're right, it makes you, and potentially as a franchise.
By the way, if you're wondering where does Malik Willis go here, he has the Steelers trading up to 17 with the Chargers and drafting Malik Willis. And then Matt Corral going 18th to the Saints. He's the Ole Miss quarterback. And I thought there was one more quarterback in here. Packers. No, I think that's a wrap. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sam Howell goes to the Lions at 32. Lions take another stab at quarterback. So there you have it. That's the Toddfather mock right there. Still waiting on Godfather mock, Mel Kiper.
Oh, it's coming.
Haven't seen his post Senior Bowl situation. So that mock draft update was presented by our friends at Surly.
Oh, Surly.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What was I having a couple of last night with my friends at the Brew Hall? Yeah, that's right. Surly Furious IPA. Delicious. Fantastic. And football's done. I get that. Football's done, but there's still plenty of sports to watch. And when you're watching sports Saturday or Sunday, sitting on the couch, and you're thinking, I'd sure like to be sipping on a beer, make sure it's from our friends at Surly Brewing. And if you ask Sports Dad, I would advise you make it a Surly Furious IPA.
And if you are a business owner out there and you're looking for the best frontline protection, you're looking for the best risk management tools and resources and a guiding hand, you should be in on Federated Mutual Insurance Company. Federated, in addition to supporting us, has been supporting businesses for over 100 years. They're based in Owatonna, Minnesota. They are one of us, so to speak. And you can find a full list of industries Federated protects on their website at federatedinsurance.com. Federated, where it's our business to protect yours. Football. All right. It's Thursday.
All right.
And that means it's time for the Random Viking of the Week.
Oh, play the music.
And Declan, you're playing without a net here, without a safety net. You don't get Tyler Forness as your tag team partner.
Without a net.
But Declan and Tyler Forness have been doing very well together. So either Declan and or Tyler have rolled off 4 consecutive wins here in Random Viking of the Week to close Judd's lead to a 15-10 gap. Can Judd stop the skid here?
Yep.
The last 4 Random Vikings have been Toby Gerhart, Jarek McKinnon, John Carlson, and Jermaine Wiggins.
I should have got Jermaine Wiggins. I'm very upset about
that.
It
was a buzzer beater finish. Yes, that was fun.
Because I said it right. I said it, but he started first.
You got to be quicker.
I should have gotten that one after like 3 or 4 clues.
Oh, sure. Well,
I'm most upset about the fact that I didn't. I mean, I covered the guy. I loved him. He's a great quote.
I feel like you've covered most of the Random Vikings that we've had.
Gerhart, I covered. Carlson, I did, but I didn't feel bad about that one.
Yeah. So here's how this works. I throw out a series of clues. Each of you get up to 3 incorrect guesses until you are eliminated. You can shout out guesses whenever you want. You can ask me questions whenever you want. I can choose whether or not I answer them. Play along at home, if you will. Maybe we'll create a home version of this and sell it to people. I don't know.
Broadcast.
I can't wait till we do that.
This Random Viking of the Week hails originally from Philadelphia, the fighting city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Fighting out of the blue corner.
Rocky Balboa.
This Random Viking of the Week played college football in the Pac-12. Maybe it was the Pac-10. Oh, whatever it was.
The Pac.
The Pac.
The Pac.
The Pac.
Got it.
I don't remember when they went from 10 to 12.
Nice job, Trebek.
I had no idea. I don't remember when they were Pac-10.
Oh, Trebek.
This Random Viking of the Week graduated college with a double major in poli-sci and history.
Oh, wow.
It's
Smart guy.
political science for those of you.
Oh, got it. Went to St. Cloud State.
And history?
Yep, poli-sci and history. Double major.
Smart dude.
This Random Viking of the Week was part of 3 NFL organizations as a player, but only actually played in regular season games with one of those franchises.
All right, I'm going to take a guess.
I swear to God.
Whoa.
I'm going to take a guess. Well, the fact he's so smart.
Brett Favre?
I think the Pac-10 or Pac-12 team you're talking about is UCLA. I'm going to guess Chris Kluwe.
He's back, boys.
Are you kidding me?
Back, dude. Wow.
I didn't know he was from Philadelphia.
Wow.
I am. Thank you.
You didn't even let me get to my fun clues. Can I read some of the other clues?
Well, because I waited too long last week. I mean, I didn't know last week, but I waited too long. But yeah, sure. Run through your cute little clues as I take my victory lap.
He describes himself as, quote, cheerfully agnostic. Despite stating he is confused by atheism, he did agree to speak at the 2014 American Atheist Convention.
That would have.
I don't really get atheism, but sure, I'll take a chance to speak at this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cheerfully agnostic. That's a great denomination. In addition to football, he's also a skilled musician. He has published 3 books. He was hired as the special teams coach at Edison High School in Huntington Beach, California in 2017. And he created a unique weapon for the game Path of Exile that's called the Poet's Pen Carved Wand.
Big gamer. Big time gamer.
Yeah, huge gamer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Judd Zulgad.
So he played
back on the board.
He played for Seattle, got picked up by the Vikings, I think, at the end of training camp 2005.
Yeah.
Who's the third team?
I think it was
the Raiders. I think the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
I think he was there.
I'll get that for you here.
As like a
just
training
curious.
camp person, or was a practice squad or something. I remember him being in
Raiders.
Oakland.
2013 Raiders, and they cut him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He was, he's the one, he got into the big public spat with the Vikings and wrote the big thing on Deadspin about Mike Prefer and.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's also the guy that said if we play this Monday night game on the frozen turf at TCF Bank Stadium, somebody is going to die. And the Vikings mocked him and said, we're playing. And Brett Favre almost died.
Brett Favre almost died.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was right. Chris was right. Team couldn't stand it, but he was proven correct.
So there you go. That's the Random Viking of the Week here.
Hey, before we get done, Phil, Declan Goff, champion. Write that down. Purple Daily champion. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm really upset I missed that accountability. Like I tried
but
so
you won
hard.
For the season.
Wait, what? Oh, I won the 2021?
You won 2021.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, I was hoping that Declan would. He hasn't listened yet. I was planning on him going back listening and then bringing that to us. But yes.
Oh no, I want to congratulate him right now. He beat me. Congratulations, Declan Goff. You were on your sickbed. I'm sorry, Phil, but Dex was on a sickbed and he won. I was proud of him.
So here's what happened, Declan. So Judd had 5 predictions on the board.
Yeah.
You had 1, and you guys were like a tenth of a percentage point away from each other going into the week. So Judd whiffed on 4 and got the 5th one right. But one of the ones he whiffed on it twice because he predicted twice that Matthew Stafford would be the AP NFL MVP. He predicted it like 3 months apart. You guys wound up, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was like 36.64 and 36.56 or something.
Holy
it was
crap.
Literally within like
It was awesome, yeah.
hundredths of a
And I cost myself
point.
completely.
And so if Judd hadn't made that prediction twice, then he would have won. It was the closest race. Going back to Mackey and Judd, write that down in history. It was one of the closest races.
All right.
So, and then, of course, you hit two touchdowns.
Two massive
I
know.
Oh,
it was a great week for you. Yeah.
I got everything set up yesterday, like at 10. Like, all right, I'm going to power through this as I'm like literally crawling to the living room. And then as I'm getting set up, I was like, nope, I had to crawl right back to the bathroom. And I was like, nope, I can't do it. I can't move.
So you weren't even there to be crowned and to be celebrated.
This wasn't even my Jordan flu game. This was like when Jay Cutler got on the exercise bike in the NFC Championship game. I was like, no, I'll just let Caleb Haney do this. I'm not coming back in for this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
give me a smoke.
Take this out.
You pulled your Marlboro out.
So congratulations
anyway,
to Declan Goff, the champion of the first season of Purple Daily. Write that down. And the listeners wound up taking the touchdown. They had another touchdown. 16 touchdowns for the listeners. A very
they
nice
throw.
performance.
They do throw deep
They
a lot.
throw deep.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
So, all right, Daily Vikings Entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win the Super Bowl before we die. That's all we ask for. We'll see you guys tomorrow.